Ladies and gentlemen, we'll call council to order on February 3rd, 2026. We need a motion to accept these and move by way, second by Gersten. Any additions to the agenda? Thing that I have, they include, so, all those in favor is approved, or is presented, thank you, that's passed. Any declaration of community and general nature thereof? Seeing none. Before we get to the minutes of the next, the previous meeting, a couple of things. We're real sparse on councillors today, so everybody's gonna have to be double duty. Apparently Councillor Pickard is traveling, Councillor Gittman is away, and Councillor Buchner is on holidays, so. And we also have a couple of introductions, so any introductions, Deb and Ryan?
Yes, I'll do the introductions, sure. Okay, so we have Deb Fiddler. She's right there in the audience.
Stand up.
So Deb started with us a couple weeks ago now. She's the township's new legislative services and records management administrative assistant. We are very happy to have her on board and just wanted to introduce her to all of council. Nice to meet you all. I'm very happy to be here. And then we also have Ryan Martin. He's also in the audience. So Ryan is our new plans examiner, building inspector. So he'll be working closely with Daniel and Ella in our building department. We're also very happy to have you on board, Ryan. Thank you. This is Brian's second week now. And yeah, we are officially at full staff right now, which is great. And yeah, looking forward to the year ahead.
Okay, good, thanks very much. So to Deb and Ryan, before you skedaddle back to work, I did want to say welcome to Southwest Oxford on behalf of council and the residents. I don't know if you read the fine print in your contracts, but it does say something like you can't leave until we're ready to let you go. It's not worded exactly that way, but that's how I understand it. And so we like to keep people around a long time. So I would encourage you to think that way, that you're here for the long haul and that we have no intentions of seeing you disappear. So, but I wish you the very best. I think you'll find it a great place to work. And certainly if you have any problems or issues, I can't imagine Deb would, but if Ryan does. But Daniel, because Daniel's new to his job too, you know, just go right to, I don't know, Julie, but don't come to me. That's the primary role. Anyways, sincere welcome. Thanks for taking on the job. I would look forward to good things. So thank you. Okay. With that, we better get back to the minutes of the preceding meeting of January 20th. Motion to, on that minute, moved by Gillis, second by Way. They be approved. Is any errors or omissions on those minutes?
I was actually an error, but I'm ready for the
That's sixth by the clerk. Any discussion? Any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Business rising from the minutes. Clerk's report to CL and
The mayor, I have nothing to add. If council have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
any questions from council? Seeing nothing, motion moved by Gillis, second by Gersten. We received any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, opposed, that's carried. Okay, we're going on to delegations and appointments. It is now 4. We need to go into a public meeting, so moved by Way, seconded by Gillis. The council moved into a public meeting to hear no change application. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. If you want to come up to the table, Shelley?
No, oh, no,
This
I'm not the rank ones, no,
Oh, okay, sorry.
but they're my neighbors.
Okay.
Sorry, she's not
We
here.
have someone on here, Jenny on from planning. They're out, okay. This is the Rankama family farm, okay. And the process, Jenny, since you were there for the planner goes through the report, council has an opportunity to ask any questions for comment. Then you'll have, as the applicant or agent, have an opportunity to make any comments if you want. Then anyone in the public can speak in favor or oppose, and then council will go to the public meetings to deliberate. So, Laurel, please.
Great, thank you, Mayor Mayberry, members of council, staff, and members of the audience. I'm here to present application for a zone change for 312-824 Durham Line, set in 42514. So the reason for the zone change application is to permit a 108.3 meter square or 1,165 square feet garden suite in the side yard of the property for a period of up to 20 years until, so that would be until February 3rd, 2046. The existing zone is general agricultural zone. The designation of the property is agricultural reserve. The property is located on the east side of Durham Line between Prowse and Airport Road, and it's approximately 38.7 hectares or 95.5 acres in size, which is a little bit larger than the minimum required for A2 properties. In terms of the circulation, when we circulated the application for comments, there were no comments from staff. I'd like to note though that the applicant, Jenny, who's on the screen there, has been working very closely with me and with building services staff, which we really appreciate, just to make sure that everything is in line and all the information has been received correctly. So thank you to Jenny for that. There were no public comments received regarding this application. So in terms of our analysis, as you know, we look at the provincial planning statement, the official plan, and the zoning bylaw. The proposal is generally consistent with the official plan with respect to the development of properties and agricultural reserve, and specifically with uses for temporary periods, which does include garden suites. So the official plan sets out criteria for garden suites, so a number of different criteria that we'd look to, including servicing, which is typically shared with the principal dwelling, so water, sanitary, electrical. We also require that there's no conflict with minimum distance separation, so that regulated distance between residential and agricultural uses. We look for compatibility and meeting the zone provisions, so the lot area, the coverage, setbacks from property lines. We look that access to the road is typically shared with the principal dwelling, and the location of the garden suite is not in front of the existing principal dwelling. The official plan also establishes that garden suites are temporary in nature, and consent to sever them from the rest of the property will not be permitted by the Land Division Committee. In terms of zoning, a zone change is required to permit a garden suite. Section 6.9 in the township zoning bylaw sets out specific provisions which are reflective and implement the official plan provisions. So again, satisfying minimum distance separation. It also specifies that a garden suite shall not exceed 1 story in height, and the maximum gross floor area is 70 square meters, and that's 753.5 square feet. Planning feels that the proposal is generally consistent with the policies of the provincial statement that does permit this type of use in agricultural areas. And staff are of the opinion that it will not hinder or negatively impact surrounding agricultural uses, and it is an appropriate use in this area. So that's something that we stress in the official plan, and I know in this township that it's important to retain and enhance the agricultural area and promote agricultural uses. The proposal is generally consistent with the criteria for garden suites in the official plan. There's sufficient area for servicing, and they're proposing to add a new septic system. The size of the garden suite is compatible with the surrounding area. And based on the configuration of the existing agricultural structures and the dwelling on the lot. So there are some barns and some silos on the lot. Planning's of the opinion that this garden suite is generally within the cluster of the existing structure. So it's not way out further, you know, on a different whole part of the property. So it's generally within those the cluster of the structures on the property. And although the preference is to have it immediately adjacent to the existing dwelling, since it is within that cluster, it's not on a separate, separate part of the property. And also we feel there's limited opportunity to site the garden suite elsewhere on the property. You could look at the configuration of the building. We are supportive of the proposed location.
The proposed location also minimizes the potential MDS impact on other agricultural properties, so it's not limiting agricultural uses on surrounding properties. The proposal is generally consistent with the provisions in the zoning bylaw. The applicants are asking for an increased gross floor area. They've indicated that the request is required for the flexibility of the proposed users of the garden suite, so frankly, the maximum in the zoning bylaw is seen to be undersized for what they're looking for. So although it exceeds the maximum size for a suite, it's still less than the permitted maximum gross floor area for a detached ARU in an agricultural area. So it's still less than what the maximum would be permitted for another type of use. And as it's smaller than the principal dwelling, it will still remain secondary to the principal dwelling on the property, which is something that we also look for with additional residential units, that they do remain secondary and ancillary to the principal. We also looked at the size of the subject property. So as I mentioned, it is larger than the minimum size required for A2 properties. So there is additional area to ensure compatibility and minimize any impact that the garden suite might have on surrounding land uses or neighbors. But again, planning is of the opinion that that is not a concern. There will be minimum impact. So staff are of the opinion that the proposal is in keeping with the policy direction of the provincial planning statement, the official plan, and staff are supportive of the request to permit an 108.3 square meter garden suite on the subject property for a period of up to 20 years. And I have attached a draft bylaw for council's consideration. So thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Laurel. Any questions from council? Councillor White.
Yeah, through the mayor, I have a couple of questions. So we are going to allow them to have a separate driveway,
Yes,
because normally that we don't allow that.
the official plan, how is it worded, that typically, it's a shared driveway. In this case, because of where the existing agricultural buildings are, it made sense to locate it where it is. So yes, there would be a separate driveway.
Okay, and the other thing I have a question about is regarding the period of time. After 20 years, can they come in and reapply for another 20 years? Or what is the answer to that? I get asked that a lot.
Okay, there can be an extension to a temporary garden suite, and I have to double check what that period of time is. I don't know if it's another 20 years. At that point, if they're extending beyond 20 years, I believe that planning's opinion would be to move it into an ARU, to convert it to a more permanent structure.
For them. They're spending quite a bit of money in a driveway, probably a cement slab, and 20 years goes by pretty quick.
It does, yes.
So I just wondered, again, 20 years, if they could just come back and apply for another 20 or,
Through you, Mary, extensions are possible. I'll double check on that time frame.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I have one, but I think we better wait till, the applicant, or their agent was spoken. So, Jenny, it's up to you now. Any comments you want to make on the application?
Hi, I'm Jenny from Woodslands Engineering. I help with putting the application together. I think Laurel summed it up pretty beautifully. We're just looking to put like a small garden suite on the north side of the property. She had mentioned we are providing a new septic system and we're gonna be tying into the existing water system from the barn. I'm not sure, is the owner Gerda here at the township office today too?
Oh.
Or is it just me that's online regarding this application? I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the owner is here, but yeah,
It's
we've been
just-
working, it's just me, okay. We've been working closely with Laurel and the planning department to get everything in line. We're hoping that this application is minor enough nature that we can get approval from the council. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them.
Any questions? I've got a couple. First one would be, why a garden suite over an ARU? Is there a reason why the applicant didn't want a permanent building there?
Yes, so they were hoping to use a mobile home or a trailer home. And reason that we had to propose it as a garden suite is because we can't classify or use a mobile home for an additional residential unit. I don't know the full extent, but it could be like a cost factor or a design factor. Constructability wise, it's a lot easier to install this mobile home on the property versus an ARU.
Oh, that's fine, thanks. Any other questions? Okay, anyone in the public want to speak in favor of the application? Anyone in the public want to speak opposed to the application? With your chance.
It's not why I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I actually have something on the docket.
Oh, all right, I'm sorry, I was thinking this was it, so, any further discussion? Go ahead, Laurel.
Through you, Mayor Mayberry, I just confirmed that they can apply for an extension. It would be a maximum 3-year extension for the current. At the end of 20 years.
And then you only reapply once.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now I need to go to the public meeting and resume as council with the motion. So the motion rise in public meeting moved by Gillis, seconded by Thurston. Any discussion? All those in favor, opposed for the public meeting. Now we need a motion moved by Gillis, seconded by Way, and the motion would be?
That would be to approve.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? I've got a couple of things. First of all, Adam, any worries about the road access?
As long as they use an approved contractor to do the work, so if they wanna use the contractor, we have to approve it. And I'll have to approve any design they wanna do for the project, but as far as sightline, there's lots of sightline.
Okay. And, Daniel, any concerns about the septic system now?
No, there's plenty of space there for us, so no concerns with that.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Go ahead, Adam.
Is the mobile home already on site?
Yes.
I believe they are temporarily storing it on site. We are in the works of getting a building permit application put together. And a septic permit application.
Okay. Any other discussion? So we have a motion on the floor to accept this, any further discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Now, you wanna do the zoning bylaw? Is that a wait? Okay, so, can a motion to pass the zoning bylaw for this? Moved by Way, second by Gillis, and the motion would be for
That the following bylaws be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Bylaw 8 of 2026, a bylaw to amend the Township of Southwest Oxford zoning bylaw. Number 25-98 for zoning file 4-2514.
in discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. So the bylaw is passed. All right. Next one is, we have a presentation by Paula and Kathy. Do you want to come to the table? This is for the food project in Ingersoll. So we've seen the presentation, or we've seen the material sent, so go ahead and tell us.
So you've seen, everybody has seen the slideshow? So perhaps what I'll do is, we just actually had an annual report come out as well. And it just came out, so I wasn't able to provide it to you. But I'd like to tell you a little bit about the food project and tell you some of our highlights that we have accomplished in 2025 and our goals for 2026. So far, the food project stands for Food and Organics Oxford Distribution. It's a county-wide collaboration that strengthens food security by coordinating warehouse, transport, procurement, and volunteer capacity of local charities and school programs across Oxford County. Launched in late 2024, the project now supports partner operations from Woodstock to Tillsonburg, Chelmsford, and an inner building shared with infrastructure, warehouse, cold storage, and logistics. That improves the access of healthy food and reduce costs. In 2025, Food Project partnered with community dinners, food hampers, school snack lunches, outreach tables, and pantry support. We contributed 1,602 meals to the inn from the cold, and that's in Woodstock. Our mission is to deliver food and essential services to those most in need, efficiently, collaboratively, in ways that can lighten the load for each organization. Our model is a shared infrastructure. We have warehouse space, cold chain equipment, racking, and transport. We serve partners that in Brownsville, Dorchester, Tillsonburg, Stratfordville, Woodstock, Ingersoll, Thamesford, and we're just starting a new pantry support in 2026. We also support IDCI and St. Mary's High Schools. Our participating charities include Stitch Supper Club, who is the lead charity, Ingersoll District Inner Church, Cycles of Life, Sycamore Center, ISSS, Rotary Club of Ingersoll, Kiwanis Club of Ingersoll, Transition to Less Waste, St. Jude's Ingersoll Parent Council, Harrisfield Student Nutrition Program, St. Jude's Fusion Center, United Way Oxford, Oxford Coalition for Social Justice, Ingersoll Salvation Army, and Southwest Public Health, Ingersoll 50 Activity Center. Some of the highlights that we were able to achieve in 2025 was we served 1,602 meals to the inn and the cold. We provided 1,152 Christmas hampers by Inner Church, 7,280 lunches, and 1,700 snacks were provided to Lori Hawkins and Royal Roads throughout the lunch bunch. 12,152 meals were provided by Stitch Supper Club. 130,000 pounds of food and supplies was distributed through Cycles of Life. 1,000 meals were served through Sycamore Center, which started in August of 2025. Our goals for 2026 are to complete the warehouse storage setup and organization, establish a satellite hamper distribution program that's year-round, establish a lunch bag program to bridge school breaks in the summertime, fundraise for a refrigerated van and improve cold chain transport, increase support and school food programs countywide. Financial overview, we have a total cash donations totaling 191,000, with a major support coming from Ingersoll Community Foundation, Kiwanis Commonwealth, Rotary of Ingersoll, and Unifor, as well as several small donors. The 26th overall budget review, we had approximately $120,000 in cash. Of those funds, $70,000 are going towards finishing capital expenditures. 32,000 is specifically allocated for school lunch programs, with the balance of 18,000 to be used on general funds. Ongoing operating costs for the food warehouse is approximately $15,000 per year, as we've secured an in-kind donation for grant. Beyond the low operating costs, additional fundraisings will go towards purchasing wholesale food projects to be distributed. Anything else?
Thanks, Paul. Any comments you wanted to make, Kelly?
I am the treasurer of this, both Stitch Supper Club and the Food Warehouse Project, because this is way we can work together. I have been totally surprised by how much money has gone into the Food Warehouse, and it has to be spent. The most of it has gone into an industrial refrigerated freezer combination. The one that they used to try and lock people into when I worked in a restaurant on the 401 when I was a teenager. But there are safety valves, but that is now $70,000, and we have to have that. We've spent $16,000 just upgrading the electrical. We had to have a garage door installed, and our providers are actually, our contractors are donating major amounts of their labor and anything else they can to us. Plumbing, steel, just wiring, just trying to get everything going. I read the checks. Nothing's being wasted. Money is being spent wisely, I believe, and labor is donated all over the place. Everyone involved in this is a volunteer. We have, no one else. Setup costs are huge. You're talking about concrete pads. We had to get those put in so we could get the van up to the new garage door. We still need to finish off the warehouse. It's almost there. You're all invited to come and see it, please. It's not open to the public, but we will let you in. And yeah, we'll warn you. And the distribution, the number of people who are being helped is incredible. Food insecurity is huge. And it's many people, it's not just the down and out you see downtown Woodstock who are insecure. There are a lot of people, working people who have personal problems or just, a lot of kids and their expenses exceed their income. And we're helping those people and it makes a huge difference. But a lot more difference needs to be made. And we appreciate any and all help we can have, please, because any extra money that we have after we get everything set up, or we're not going for frills, will be spent on food. And if you have any questions about the budget or anything that's being spent, I'd be happy to answer those questions.
Thanks very much, Kathy. Any questions from council? Councilor West.
Yeah, through the mayor, I see. You're going outside the county as a boxer to Dorchester and Stratfordville. Are you getting any support for those from local communities or? Like that's quite a haul from Ingersoll to Stratfordville.
Right now, what we're doing is we're providing the hampers program, so we're trying to start with the pantry program with that. So that's what they're providing to Stratfordville is the hamper program. And what the hamper program is, I don't know if you've ever seen what the Interchurch gives out at Christmas time. It's a banana box and it's completely filled with shelf stable food, so pasta, spaghetti sauce, some cereal, tea bag, stuff like that. It's a big box. So what they're doing is we're right now just starting to promote this, but we're going to area like libraries and stuff like that, senior center, where we can put some of these boxes and our people in food insecurity can come and take those boxes, no questions asked, no registration, nothing. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're there.
I'm not opposed to what you're doing at all. I think it's a great service. I was shocked, or not shocked, I was just surprised that you're going outside the boundaries of Oxford County and doing a couple. I mean, Dorchester is basically London.
Right.
So it's a great service. Kudos and keep up with the work.
Thank you.
Just for Kathy's information, Paul already knows, I think all of us were on the tour.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, so we have been through the place.
Okay,
And
great.
at that time, I suggested, looking forward to when you have kind of a public open house, maybe in the spring, so
We're
that
looking at
more
May.
people see what is happening. So, any other questions? Okay, I had a couple. So certain amount of food is being donated. Where are the sources of food? In fact, a large amount of food is being donated. What are the typical sources that you get your supplies from?
So typically Harvest Hands out of St. Thomas. So if you're familiar with Harvest Hands, they do a food distribution. And quite frankly, independent from Ingersoll. We do food rescue there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we take everything back to the warehouse. We sort through everything. We decide what's salvageable and what isn't. Rule of thumb is, would I eat it? If I won't eat it, then it goes in the garbage. So we get a lot from independent every week.
So I think you meant if you wouldn't eat it, it goes in the compost.
In the compost, right?
Not in the garbage.
Not the garbage.
Which is,
You're correct.
which is one of the goals of this group is to kind of reduce
landfill,
organic matter landfill, so.
Definitely compost,
absolutely compost.
which is a lot of shed for the compost, composter.
Which interestingly enough, when we were there was, 3 people sitting there cleaning out yogurt containers and other stuff, putting it into that. Just for your information, Inform and Engage Committee from the country is going to Harvest Hands a week from today,
Oh, awesome.
to sort of see their part of the story.
Have you had a tour there? No?
Oh, that's why I said a
Oh,
week
yeah.
from today, we're going for that tour, so.
You know
Um,
what? Fabulous. I'm glad that you're doing that because Harvest Hands is a phenomenal organization.
Well, and we've heard good things, and so Valerie, the chair, suggested we go, so we're gonna go see it and see what we do.
Wonderful.
And how does it support things like the food project and other organizations, so, what was the source of food? I guess the other thing, township does have, money in the budget for a grant. Any suggestions as to exactly where that might go, or, because I don't think council will want to direct the money, they tend to let organizations tell us what their greatest need is. I'm just curious if
Right now, our greatest need is buying food.
food.
So, you know, I mean, eventually we have 2 vehicles right now for transportation. A 2026 goal is we do want to fundraise for a refrigerated vehicle as well. But right now, priority is buying food and getting it out to people. And we have registered with Silver Group Purchasing, which is an organization that it's an umbrella for several different companies. Where you can go in and I'm gonna say Cisco, for example, you can go in and do all your weekly shopping through Cisco. And then at the end of the year, based on how much you've spent, the project will get a percentage back. It's not a huge percentage, I think like 1%. But the prices are supposed to be lowered prices for this group, so we have registered for that and we are using that on a regular basis. We are ordering from Cisco on a regular basis.
And we purchase quantities and sizes that are not available, that independent can't provide us with. We shop locally whenever we can. But Cisco provides what we can.
Yeah, we do a lot of shopping with independent as well.
So, just before the meeting, you had mentioned that you seem to have an oversupply of bread right now.
Yes, we do.
And I had said, isn't that the purpose of the food project in the first place? Was that rather than one group having an oversupply, spreading it out amongst as many groups as possible. So really it's about food efficiency and less waste, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, last thing you mentioned about food hampers. Have you talked to the Oxford County Library Board about getting on board? I know that you've been supporting in the last couple of weeks the hamper in Brownsville.
Right.
County has library boards and they have a truck that moves around between library boards or between libraries. I think there's 14 of them in Oxford. Might want to talk to them.
Yeah.
I just happened to sit on the library board and the Mayor Ingersoll sits on the library board.
Okay.
Might be a good one to
Yeah,
have a
absolutely.
conversation with.
Yeah, I wrote that, I've been writing down all your notes, thank you.
The
I'm on an advisory committee for the Ingersoll Library Board,
Oh,
so,
awesome.
okay.
The hamper program is something that has just started, like just as of Christmas. So it's brand new program. So we're just in the process of developing it. How far are we gonna go? How far we aren't gonna go? You know, so it's brand new. We're working on it.
So the library, the only reason I mentioned the library, first of all, to sit on the board, but also because they have locations in villages all over Oxford. It's kind of a relatively easy, I mean, it could potentially be a.
Absolutely.
So,
We'll have to follow up with them.
okay, any questions from staff? Okay, we need, we're getting a motion to receive and then, what were the funds? Set aside?
4,000.
So do we have a motion to receive the report and to send the money to the budgeted? Councilor Gillis, your motion would be?
Exactly, of the charter.
Receive the report and forward the grant. And Councillor Darcy, will you second that?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, opposed, that's good. So, Brooke will send you a check, shortly. Do you need an address or anything, Brooke?
Yes, we need some contact.
109.
You want to,
I'll make it a check out to the food project, please. And the address is the mailing address, 109 Francis Street. Yeah, in Bristol. And 5C, 2H2. Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you
We
for your
look forward
support.
to, the more public open house that, as
Yes,
things
we're looking at
progress.
the first week of May is what we're looking
Oh,
at.
good.
So they threw out a date of May 5th, but I don't know if that's right yet, but we are looking. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time, everybody.
Okay. What? One is that? Okay, so, Kelly, I apologize.
That's okay, I was like.
Come on up, come on up to the table. We're gonna skip down to, the request for cost sharing for the fence.
No worries,
Totally missed, or slipped my mind,
that is okay. I thought Berta was actually gonna be here because she asked me, but anyways,
okay,
I feel like I'm on trial.
no, yeah. You'd know if you were. So, that was, COE. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna skip down to report CAO 2026 request. And Julie, please, that's your report.
Thank you, Mayor Mayberry. So the purpose of this report is to bring forward a request from a property owner whose lands are adjacent to the Durham Center Park immediately to the south. The owner has installed fencing along the shared boundary and is requesting that the township share in the cost in accordance with the township's fence bylaw. The fence bylaw allows council to consider contributing up to 50% of the cost of a residential chain link fence along the township owned property. The staff report outlines some of the concerns that the property owners have experienced that have led to the fence installation. And as you know, Phil Mullen is here today. If council has any further questions that they would like to ask Shelley in relation to those incidents that have occurred on their property. I know in the staff report that the cost was not included in the draft budget. So council approval and direction are required regarding whether or not we will pay the 50% cost of the fence. If so, staff is recommending that it be taken from the recreation reserve. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that council may have.
Okay, any questions from council? Not seeing any comments you want to make?
I don't, I've already expressed most of our concerns and confrontations that have happened. Julie and Daniel, actually, you were out too in October and we discussed what was best, and I don't know if you've seen the final product or not. But, and then we ended up going on the inside of those stumps as well, we didn't go around them, but, yeah, we did it as cheap as possible. We used, Peter next door as well too, who was very familiar with like the requirements and stuff like that, and just.
Okay. Any comments you want to make, Daniel?
What's that?
We do. Kind of.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The fence, is it chain link or is it?
No, it's not, it's not.
It's a wood, like a
So it's like a farm fence, so it's a no climb.
wire fence.
Yes,
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was 4x4 sheet fencing,
Yes,
so we
okay,
needed something so that kids wouldn't climb it.
yeah, okay, that's
So-
fine.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions? So more question for staff, would normally this have come to council as a request, in this case, maybe even pre-budget last fall? And the second question would be, since policy is we pay for half fencing anyways, does this need in the future, I'm asking, so I'm not asking for an answer to it, I'm just saying. In the future, does this need to come to council at all, other than as a recommendation?
Well, okay, so first question, yes, it should have come to council first. Before the fence went in, typically that's what we would do, we'd get a request and it would come before council first. because it is something that we're proposing to fund out of reserve, it does need to come forward to council. If it had come prior to budget and it was approved and included in the budget, then no, it would not have.
In the future though, and I'm not thinking about this property, I'm thinking about any other property in the township that abuts, park, for example. The policy of the township is that we would pay 50% of the cost of the fence. Therefore, is that something that actually needs to come to council, or is that something that staff could do without, which, you know, do hundreds of other things without bringing every relation to council? I'm just thinking about, you might want to think about that for a future meeting, sort of say, does this, and is council interested in hearing about it with a, I'm thinking, you know, we have properties, for example, in Sugar around the Peace Park and that sort of stuff. Somebody wanted to potentially be paid for that. So anyways, I'll leave that. So,
Through you, Mayor, the way our bylaws worded now, it does have to come to council.
Okay.
So we would need to change the wording from the bylaw if we wanted to, look at that in the future.
okay.
Can I
Okay,
just say
and
one thing? I didn't know, like, we came here, we got direction from them. Daniel came out, we got the go ahead. I didn't know that we missed this step somewhere.
so please, I'm not in any way, being negative to you or anything you've done. I'm just sort of saying, this situation where this council need to be involved at all. That's my second question. The first one is, if staff are involved, in October, then I would have thought it would have been in the budget. But, so there was a bit of a miscommunication, no harm, no foul, we would have paid for half of it anyways. I mean, according to our policy, unless council decided they weren't going to. So, and they could do that right now, I suppose. Any further discussion from council? No, and go ahead, Councilor Gillis.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Well, it's kind of a shame that it was missed, but obviously with some of the impact that's happened to the neighbor's property, I don't have a problem with the request and we're funding it from the recreation reserves at this time.
Did I hear that as a motion?
That'll be
That was a motion, do we have a seconder? Councilor Wade? Any discussion, further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that's it. So, Brooke will send you a check. I assume, that's all right. My only, one other question, our policy doesn't say chain link.
It does,
It does.
Okay, so, if somebody wanted a different kind of fence. That would also be something that, is that something that staff would take care of, or, I don't really care what kind of fence it is.
Yeah.
But
No, through you, Mayor, we have had similar requests for a different type of fence. In those cases, it has to come forward to council. We have approved it, for 50%. But yes, those requests do.
Okay. All right,
Thank you very much.
okay, yeah,
Do you need
you have a nice
anything?
day.
Thanks, you too. Do you need anything from me?
I think they have it.
Okay, awesome. They can call me, I can pick it up. You don't have to call, like, put it in the mail. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, back here, we're, I think we're at staff reports and drainage. DDO one, and I think Daniel, we're talking to you.
Yeah, so I don't really have a whole lot to add for that one. We've received a lot of bids for that job, a lot of local contractors. I'm recommending that we accept the lowest bid from Cat Demolition and Excavating.
Any questions from council? Councilor Wade.
Yeah, through the mayor, I have seen their trucks around, are they from Tillsonburg?
Auger Pro.
Water's not deal, okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Have we ever used them before?
I've used them for maintenance, quite a lot, like a lot of maintenance projects over the years, so, yeah. They've never done a capital project for us, but, they do a lot of work in the township of Norwich and done a lot of maintenance for us.
Yeah, that's why we're working.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Seeing none, then do we have a motion to, on the recommendation? Moved by Thurston, seconded by Wade. Result of council Clifford Park proceed before DD 1.26 confirm confirmation of grade tender for the Durham line drain and further the tender submitted by Cat Demolition Excavating Inc. in the amount of $78,687.34 plus HST for the construction of the Durham line drain be approved. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. WD 3,
We two. You know, the three first, yeah, we do that.
I don't know, the 3 is first on my
Yeah,
list.
so we do that, that's no problem. WD 3 is the canoe results for the new tractor backhoe that we would like to purchase in 2026. This was part of the capital plan. We did go through canoe on this one and received excellent pricing. This will replace the township's 2007 John Deere. There's very little changes between the new style John Deere and the one we have now, so it's going to be a great fit for staff. Any questions?
Any questions on this one? Just got one, does Canoe do kind of a tendering process as well?
They do their own competitive bid process and then vendors have to honor that price for anyone part of the canoe program.
Okay, so they've already kind of done a
They
pre-tendering,
do it all, yeah.
so Case or whoever else has already had an opportunity to bid on this and,
In part of their canoes contract is.
yeah, okay. No, any other questions? Then do we have a motion? Moved by Gillis, second by Williams, all council town of Clifford Park to report WD 3 2026 purchase of new tractor backhoe as information and further the council approves the purchase of one new 2026 John Deere tractor backhoe, including the 5-year comprehensive warranty for a purchase price of $254,563.35 plus applicable taxes through LAS Canoe contract number 01777723 JDC. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. And WD 2, pickup truck.
Thank you. These WD 2 brings forth the tender results for the 1-ton pickup truck. We released a tender and at the time of closing, we received 6 bids part of that tender and Ford was the lowest bid that met the spec. This will replace the township's 2021 Chevy pickup. I know it's only got about 226,000 on it, which doesn't sound like a lot, but those are hard kilometers. These trucks go every day and they're part of the snowplow crew that do parking lots and so on. So, yeah, again, this was part of the 2026 budget. And, yeah, any questions I've got, thanks.
Good, Councilor Gillis.
Question for you, Mr. Mayor, to Adam. So I see this is a 1-ton pickup truck, you're replacing a 3/4 ton?
Yeah.
Why so?
So we decided to go a little heavier, so this would be a 1-ton single wheel. There's very little difference between the 3/4 ton and the 1-ton, except for one extra rear leaf spring in the back, so it'll just give a little extra carrying capacity, higher GVW, so we license it a little bit higher. We put the standard in the back, we're getting pretty close to our GVW, we're not there yet, but that's a good place.
Okay. Good, any other questions? Then we have a motion. Recommendation moved by Thurston, seconded by Gillis, resolved that council township Clifford Park for WD 2 2026. Tender results for a 1-ton pickup truck as information and further council approved the purchase of one new 2026 Ford F-350 4-wheel drive regular cab truck from Stoker Motors Limited at a tender price of $63,447 plus applicable taxes. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Just before we leave Adam, we had a request this week, follow up on, speeding on Mount Elgin Road West. And, you want to give us an update as to what you've done there?
So we did do more traffic studies with our Speed Spy camera there. We sent the results off to the OPP and they requested that we do another study closer to the 60. So further west, we've done that and sent the results off to those as well and have not heard anything back from them. In reviewing the study, there's nothing consistent, so there's nothing really like, there's somebody speeding at 5 PM every day, it's all sporadic, so the chances of doing a focus patrol are slim, but I can follow up with Tony to see if there's anything there.
Okay, I think the request was around the effectiveness of the,
Okay, the delineators.
delineator.
We had them up for a short period of time, replaced them probably every other day. They were damaged quite badly. The problem is there too, there's no way for traffic to get around them. Like you come down through there with the big tractor, there's no way to get around. Like you can't just drive up, like Cloven Road, they can drive around them in Rochelle. Now there was no way, they have to basically drive over them, so. They were damaged several times, so we just removed them.
And what's the cost of them?
I believe there was $200 each.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's what I needed to know, so, and any further, Councillor Wade.
I have a question to the mayor. Intersections, talking to a resident, thought there was a lot of snow at the corner of Dodge Line and Curry Road that was impeding his vision, so I didn't know if, I mean, it's been a heavy winter. There's lots of intersections in this township where you really gotta kind of start creeping
So
up.
we removed that one last Thursday.
Okay.
The big loader ever did road there, and they moved to the other side of the road, so that it's a lot better.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else for Adam? Seeing none, thanks very much, Adam. I think we're now down to the treasurer's report of one, council remuneration and expenses. And Brooke, please.
This report, the purpose of this report is to provide council with the reported activity and expenditures for the 2025 year. There is a slight decrease in 25 over 24, just due to a lower attendance at conferences in that year. Other than that, I have nothing else to add.
Okay, any questions from council on this? Requirement to disclose, so. Seeing none, do we have a motion to receive this information? Moved by Gillis, second by Thurston, resolved. Council Township Secretary Office received report number PRO 1/2026 entitled Statement of Council Remuneration and Expense 2025 for the year ended December 31st, 2025. We received this information. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Building permit, video 2, scale permit update.
Thank you, so yes, I've been working hard this month, January, since new permits come in, we're slowed down a little bit, working on getting some still permits closed up. Our main focus was, 2024, trying to kind of work backwards, This gets a little bit more harder to track once we get pre-filed permit. So yeah, we had 40 closed up in 2024, in the month of January. Still 49 open. In 2024. So like that.
Any questions from Daniel on this report? So, in late 2025, early 2026, what's the application rate for building permits? Slow, medium, fast, high, medium, low, I guess.
I think up to date, 2026, we have about 10 or so submitted at the moment.
Was that a normal January?
I'd have to look back at the past, but I feel like it's steady and it's good enough for January, yeah. I would say.
Yeah, okay, so it's steady.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah,
Reason I ask is because you sort of say, well, things are slowing down in one area, people can concentrate on another, but if you study, then you should expect monumental gains in this area, which is what I was hoping for. Anything else?
yeah, we have 12 submitted for the year 2026.
Okay.
For whatever reason, 4 or 5 of those are demolition permits, I don't know why, but busy with demolition. But
Get them off the year's or year's property taxes, so, yeah, okay. Any questions on the still permit update? Well, encourage you to keep working on it whenever you can. We have a motion to receive the report, moved by Wade, second by Gerson. So the council township census officer received the full report, BDO 2026 still permit update build information. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you, Daniel, and the next one is CEO 7, childcare. Go ahead, Julie, please.
Thank you, Mayor Mayberry. So the purpose of this report is to seek council's direction to proceed with issuing a request for proposal for expressions of interest to gauge interest for a qualified childcare operator for the proposed new municipal office, library, and childcare facility. This step will help us better understand the level of demand, operating models, and potential lease revenue associated with the childcare component of this project. That information is important because it will help it will help staff put together a realistic financing plan for the facility and ensure that the space is designed to meet the operational needs of whoever the operator selected will be. I know that there will be no final decisions made during this stage. This is an information gathering step to gauge the interest within the community for childcare and for an operator for the childcare facility. Anybody that we decide to move forward with, primarily at this point, they would be involved in the detailed design phase of the project, and we would explore in more detail any potential partnership for the operation of the childcare once we have financing confirmed and final decision from council to move forward. I did attach a draft RFP to the report for council's information. I note in the report that I put this together based on a request for proposal put together by Zora, as well as another one that was put together by Southwest Middlesex. And I note that again, we're still about at least 2 years out from this building potentially being complete, should we continue on track. And issuing this now 2 years in advance would be appropriate timing to help us gauge interest as well as put together our financing plan. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that council may have.
So, any questions on this? Kind of a logical step, Councillor Yellows, please.
Yeah, through you, just to comment, I think it's a logical step. I think you gotta find out if there's demand there. Whether what we're proposing is big enough or too big or anything of that sort. Or, you know, whether it's worthwhile moving forward at all. So I think it's worthwhile to pursue at this time.
Good. Any other comments? Seeing none, we have a motion then to, based on recommendation, moved by Yellow, second by Wade, Bill Council Township Clerk, for CEO 7/2025, closed childcare center, requested proposal for expression of interest and information for the Council of Township Service Officer, by direction to staff proceed with issuing a request for proposal to solicit expressions of interest from qualified childcare operators for the operation of a licensed childcare center within the proposed new municipal office, library, and childcare facility in Mount Elgin, and further for the draft RFP attached as appendix A to this report to be received for information. Any discussion? None, all those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Are you here for the Rankama?
Yes.
Okay, we already passed it at the meeting, or the public meeting was at 9:05 this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, yeah, I just see it right now when I printed the agenda.
Okay, so your planner was here, actually still there.
Yeah, Jenny.
And we passed it and the zoning bylaw there. So unless somebody appeals, and I don't think anybody can appeal except for the owner or the township. Is that right? Unless you appeal your own application, it's a done deal. Yeah, but you have to wait for the 20-day appeal period, which starts probably tomorrow. And so in 3 weeks' time, you can have a building permit, but that doesn't stop you from coming in and getting some of the paperwork done on the building permit. Daniel can help you with that. I'm sure you already have, so.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I didn't, thank you very much.
okay, no problem. I just didn't want you sitting there all morning waiting for the application that we've already dealt with, so.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know, okay, so thank you very much.
Okay, you have a nice day.
Yeah, you too, thank you.
Hi, sorry to interrupt. I'll be hopping off as well. I'm Jenny from Woodside Engineering regarding the Rankama application too. If there is still anything for me to address, let me know, or I can be in contact via email as well.
Okay, thanks, Jenny.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a nice
Thanks,
day.
everyone. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. I think we're down to CAO 9, Roma report. Do it, please.
So, thank you, Mayor McRae. The purpose of this report is just to provide follow-up information from my attendance at the Roma conference a couple of weeks ago. As you know, this conference includes attendees from many rural municipalities from across Ontario. I note that I found this conference to be really engaging and very beneficial, and I'm really grateful I had the opportunity to attend this conference. I found all of the sessions to be very relevant to the issues and challenges that we face here in Southwest Oxford. I found it difficult to decide which sessions to go to even because they were all very relevant. There were recurring themes at the conference, which I did note in this report. A lot of challenges in rural Ontario with respect to healthcare, seniors care, affordable housing, and financial sustainability for small municipalities as well as municipal infrastructure. So I outlined in Appendix A to this report the summary of the sessions that I did attend. If there's any specific questions, I'm happy to answer. I note that there was a lot of discussion about the problems that rural municipalities face. Not too much in terms of the solutions to some of those problems, with the exception of advocacy and trying to get additional funding from the provincial levels of government. But I found it very relevant to what we were looking at here. Growth in rural areas as well is something that was another recurring theme, which I didn't really mention here. But if there's any questions, I am happy to answer.
Okay, so questions for CEO. Councillor White.
Just comment, that was a very thorough report, a lot of reading, a lot of knowledge, so thank you very much, that was job well done.
Well, better than you would have got. Anyways, any other comments? So, I guess Julia, my question would be, when was the last time you went to a Roma conference?
That's the first time I've been to Roma. So I went to AMO last summer, and then I went to Roma just in January. I think I prefer Roma just because I found it to be a lot more relevant to what we experience here. But no, that's the first one I've been to.
Good. Who else from staff would you recommend as going, maybe not every year, but occasionally? Or is that something that, is more CAO oriented? I did find that there's a lot of rural Ontario politicians there. So a lot of members of council were there, and then there were a lot of CEOs, and there were some treasurers there as well. Okay, so having read your report and I'm wondering about how often you have been to a Roma. And so I think it's one of those things where you see quite a few CAOs. So, and I'm thinking that in future budgeting, you might want to consider making sure that we have money in there for the CAO to go. And if not every year, every other year or something, but I think the value to the whole township from your kind of perspective to be able to sort of see what others are doing. And as you said, misery loves company, so everybody loves standing around whining and crying about everything that's wrong in the world. But sometimes you pick up some ideas of how we could actually be successful in meeting some of these challenges. And that's where I'm a great believer for, collaborating. Just the previous report on childcare. You can borrow an RFP from somebody else, mold it to what we need. Please do. I'm not about reinventing the wheel every day. So, but I do think there's great opportunities there, and I would encourage council members to go. If you don't go every year, maybe every other year, because I think they're usually a very educational process, and both inside the sessions and outside the sessions. I'm really glad you went. So thanks for going. I realize it's time away from band and all that, but they don't wish you that much. So we have a motion then to receive this report as information. Moved by Gillis, second by Kirsten, that the CEO's report, and we'll get back to it. Result that Council of Township Service Department's report CEO 09-2026 2026 Roma Conference, summary report as information. Any further discussion?
Yeah. Can we expect the same kind of report when Adam goes to good roads next?
Yes, we do. 17 pages, let's see if you can do it well.
Thanks.
All those in favor? That's good. TRO 2, successful funding application for potholes. Go ahead, Brooke.
Okay, the purpose of this report is to seek council's approval, to enter into a funding agreement with the province for their provincial pothole and road repair program. As you can see in the report, the township was contacted by the province and encouraged to apply. We have since received confirmation that we were approved, subject to the execution of a formal funding agreement. The eligibility monetary value of the funding is up to $38,000. The time span for this agreement, it does span 2025, so things we have already completed into 2026. So those funds may go back into 25 as well. Just depends how we can support the full $38,000 funding. That's all.
Okay, any questions on this? So, if we already allocated in our budget X number of dollars for, say, hot patch repair. And do we have to not spend all of that money before we can ask for the pothole money?
Not according to the contract.
We don't have to.
No.
Okay, so I misunderstood that, good, but okay. Is anybody besides me concerned that the province is putting money into potholes rather than actually, I don't know, repairing roads? On a larger scale? But putting Band-Aids on when we actually need surgery, seems to be a waste of Band-Aids as far as I'm concerned, but, that's one of these programs that I realize everybody drives money in, you know, this police says they run out the door, but it didn't actually solve the problem.
I can't remember what the province set aside for this one. It was only for municipalities under 10,000, so there's a few. 10 million? 10 million will go a long way in a lot of roads, but I guess that's their way of spreading it around.
I think if you're gonna give money towards roads, then, I'm not sure I would call it pothole, I would just say, here's $38,000 to spend on the roads budget. And you figure out where, but, it bothers me a little bit that we're patching old roads. Anyway, I'm willing to take the money since the treasurer says we should, so, any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion then to, receive the money and have the treasurer execute the funding agreement. Moved by Gill, second by Thurston, resolved, Council Township Facilities Office pursue report number PRO 2026, successful funding application, provincial pothole prevention and repair program as information and further council authorized the mayor and treasurer to execute the funding agreement with the Ministry of Transportation for the pothole prevention and repair program. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. And now we're down to drainage report DDO 2, confirmation of drainage tender for east branch of the Heron Island drain. Anything you wanted to add, Daniel?
Yeah, I was under the engineer's estimate, structure job, submitted by Robinson Farm Branch, we didn't see as many as the Durham line drain, that's because this job requires a wheel machine, which not as many contractors have, especially around here. But yeah, we worked with Robinson in the past, most recently 2025 for the Piper drain, just outside of Salford. And we're always pleased with their work, so we're hoping that we accept.
Good. Any questions from council? Seeing none, do we have a motion now? One, there's only three of you, somebody, okay, moved by Gillis, second by Gerson, resolved the Council of Township Facilities Office to issue for DDO 2 2026 confirmation of drainage tenders for the east branches of the Heron Island drain. The further the tender submitted by Robinson Farm Drains Limited in the amount of $107,665.50 plus HST for the construction of these branches of Hiram, Allen Green be approved. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Anything under discussion items? Let's move right on to consent agenda. Numbers 1 to 6, you have a motion. Councillor Wade.
Note and file 1 to 6.
Okay, you have a seconder? Second by Justin. Just so you're aware, I was gonna bring up the planning report, my report, I guess it was. I'm sure you all got the Watson report read over the weekend. Almost. I have asked Laurel if she and maybe Megan would come to the next council meeting to have a high level discussion on what growth means for Southwest Oxford. And the implications for us, the number of homes that they think are going to be needed. 30 homes a year for the next 30 years or whatever. That's a lot of homes. And how we're going to accommodate that, or are we going to accommodate it? I would say the county, Massachusetts County Council asked the question about how all of this is going to be funded, to the point where we asked that the receiving this report be deferred. It was lost in 5-5 vote, but to get the implications for expenses, since the province seems somewhat keen on development charges not paying the full cost of development. In other words, growth not paying for growth, and that the existing property owners should pay for future growth. A bit of a, move from what we previously done through development charge. So, anyways, I think as you read through the report, and hopefully everybody will get a chance to the requirements for Southwest Oxford, I think we should have some comments made to council, both from internal, how does it affect Southwest Oxford, but also from what are the implications for neighboring urban municipalities that are going to have to grow their boundaries. So, anyways, we'll leave that till the next meeting, and I'm hoping they'll be here. So, put that on the agenda. Councillor Gillis.
Just kind of reading through that, I think that county planning is gonna have to allow the rural municipalities to be able to expand their settlement areas. I think it's been kind of a harder no over the last few years, whether they will. But I think if that's the direction of that report, they're gonna have to be more willing to expand a bit.
So if they're willing to expand a bit, is it gonna be on service villages? And I guess I have some concerns about Mount Elgin, being our only service village, unless we're prepared to service another village, which is another option. I'm not suggesting it is. But after you get to a certain level, the wastewater system in Mount Elgin will not be adequate if we get over 1,000 homes or whatever it is. And therefore, what are you going to do, and what is the cost of doing that? I'm not suggesting we shouldn't do something. I'm just saying, before we say this is what we're doing, you better understand, and that was my point at county council, we better understand what's going to cost. It might actually make more sense for us to say, no, we'll give up land to Woodstock or Pilsen of Greens or whatever, and have them expand than for us to try and expand. But I don't know, but I think you should at least explore the possibility. At what point do we need marina and not other? How many homes will require before you got a marina? Go ahead.
Did you like Paul to the next meeting? Laurel and Paul, who would you?
I said to Laura, and she said, well, she would ask Megan.
Oh.
But anyway, I think we should have a bigger discussion and simply, oh, that's what the county's doing, because I think it actually affects us. In several ways. How big are we prepared to let Mount Elgin get? And what are the implications of that? If it's a service village, Or are we gonna seek to service another village? Or are we simply gonna say, no, we're big enough the way we are, somebody else can have that, and let somebody else grow? And through as we did think or so, through a shared, revenue for boundary expansion. Is that an option? I don't know the answers, I'm just saying, I think we should ask the question. So. Anyway, hopefully at the next meeting or sometime soon, I didn't really want to get into the discussion today with council around here, so. Okay, motion was, note and file the consent agenda items. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Accounts payable report. We have a motion there. Moved by Gillis, seconded by Way, resolved that the following accounts be approved for payment. Account payable for January 18th to January 30th, 2026. $870,713.41, payroll number 2, general, $62,117.64, payroll number 1, council, $84,69.82, payroll number 1, fire, $26,814.07, for grand total of $968,114.94. Any questions on this report? Seeing none, payment 2 for 2, this is the complete payment for the fire bill, or for the fire truck. And we have it. I think I saw that. Okay. Everybody was satisfied? Fire chief didn't have any concerns, but. No, okay. All those in favor then? Opposed, that's carried. Bylaws and agreements, 5, 6, 7, and 9. I believe. We have a motion then for second reading. Moved by Way, second by Thurston, and bylaw would say.
Resolved that the following bylaws be read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed. Bylaw 5 of 2026. Bylaw to manage the Mount Hope Community Center Hall Board. Bylaw 6 of 2026. The bylaw to appoint persons to manage the West Oxford Goldens Community Hall Board. Bylaw 7 of 2026. The bylaw to appoint plans examiner and building inspector for the Township of South West Oxford. And bylaw 9 of 2026. The bylaw to authorize an agreement with the Ministry of Transportation for the pothole prevention and repair program.
Any discussion? You're doing first, second, and third?
Yep.
Okay, no changes. All right. Councillor Gillis, you're first.
Just a question on bylaw number 9, why did it say Ontario Transfer Payment Fire Protection Grant? That was just for the pothole.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's in the last.
It's likely,
You want to correct that one off?
is it?
It's just,
Right here.
it's just in the file, just the file. I'm just.
Oh.
Saved it.
Sorry,
I seen that there and I was like, that was.
the bylaw is correct.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Okay, anything further? All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Notice the motion? Any new business? Council roundtable, this shouldn't take long today. Councilor Way.
Okay. Pretty quiet. Over the township. Oldham's Hall Board had their AGM last Tuesday evening. It was attended by our CAO. We did choose a new executive and they're good for 2 years. So they're going with a election every other year. We did ask if the CEO if we could do that and she said that would be acceptable. So next year at our AGM, there'll be no elections. It'll just be the same board. So, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty quiet, other than a few people complaining about how much snow's around at some of the intersections, but it's winter. Well, we've had a lot of snow in there. See, it was still snowing here a while ago, so, yeah, so pretty quiet.
Great. Councillor Gillis.
Yeah, thank you. Relatively quiet, museum board meeting next Wednesday, I believe.
Yep.
Looking to try and get some dates for each of the parks and recs for AGM, probably in February or March. There, other than that, again, same comments and concerns for winter, and that's pretty cool.
And Councillor Gerson, word through.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure it's quiet in Ward 3 because of the snow one and just the relaxed atmosphere that everyone is in because of staying in a lot. Not much going on. Tonight is the AGM for Selford. And the only other big thing that I'd like to mention is the tour in February 10th.
So good.
The tour on February 10th in St. Louis.
Okay. Okay. Only comment I was gonna make was tour next Tuesday, for inform and engage, and if building people committee wanted to come, or anybody else really, I don't think it'll matter. Starting out with the tiny home project in St. Thomas, where I believe they have 15 homes up and running now, for vulnerable people. So I'm more interested in, well, from a county perspective, I'm interested in seeing how it works. From a township perspective, I'm interested in seeing how tiny homes work, period. And then they go, the CAO at St. Thomas is suggested we take a tour of the, they're calling it the Yarmouth Yards, the new battery plant there. Just sort of see where they are with construction and that sort of stuff. And then after lunch, we go to Harvest Hands, and then there's an opportunity to visit the shelter. They have a new shelter in St. Thomas that is addressing some of the long-term shelter problems, such as where people go during the day and can people store stuff in their own locker sort of thing. Where quite often shelters tend to be a place where you can go and your stuff is there, but the next morning it has to move with you outside the door. So I think they're doing a pretty good job in St. Thomas, and it was recommended that we might want to go see it. I realize this isn't a township responsibility, but in my mind, they kind of get educated or complete better on. So that's that. The other thing is, the last company meeting before, had a presentation around the silica dust in the air. So I did talk to Whittingford Lodge about whether, they have any concerns. And they don't have any concerns, primarily because they have a filtration system that would take out, particles much smaller than silica dust, trying to keep the air clean in the facility in general. And so they're looking to take out, viruses and all that sort of stuff. So their air quality is probably as good as anyone we're gonna get. I haven't got back to the Woodstock Hospital. I want to talk to Whittingford Lodge first. And they did reach out to the medical officer of health, for Southwest Public Health, and they've asked for a copy of the application, the full application that they've got, and I think Laurel's going to get it back to the medical officer of health in Canada. But I haven't heard any comments about air monitoring, so that's what that is. And I think that's all I was going to mention today, so. No closed session? Nothing on, okay. Then suggest that we can either take a break or we can do the confirmation bylaw and adjourn. So, is lunch coming in today?
Yes.
Yes.
What time is lunch coming in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, anybody want to drag this out till noon? Good. We did the confirmation bylaw and then mover and seconder for the confirmation bylaw, moved by Way, seconded by Gilbert. And the bylaw will read,
The following bylaw will be read first, second, and third time and finally passed, bylaw 10 of 2026. To confirm all actions and proceedings of council for February 3rd, 2026. And further that the mayor and clerk are hereby authorized to sign the bylaw and affix the corporate seal.
any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. I need a motion to adjourn. Moved by Gillis, second by Way, that we adjourn at 11:25 or 10:25. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. Remind everybody dates to remember,